Hey everyone, it's Peggy here. Thanks for tuning in to this week's video. This week I have a Padauk blank. It's 6x6x3 I picked up at Rockler. And I'm going to make a bowl, and it's going to have an embellishment on the side. I'm going to attempt a bow tie, which I have not made before, so stick around and let me know what you think. So before putting it on the chuck with the woodworm screw, I chopped the sides off with the bandsaw just to make it a little bit faster in getting it to round and to save on the bowl gouge a little bit. As usual, I'm using a Carter & Sons roll gouge. All the tools or products that I use will be linked in the video description if you're interested in checking them out. So going slow and taking light passes because it is still pretty jagged on some edges there. And once it's round, I speed up the lathe and get it in balance and get it to the width that it's going to be. If you've worked with Padauk, you know how messy it can be. I think I turned orange after finishing this bowl from all the shavings and all the dust. Even with dust collection, it gets everywhere. Starting working now on the bottom and sides, slowly taking some off of the side and bottom, starting to make that curve. Trying to leave as much of the Padauk as possible so it can be as large of a bowl. Combination of push and some pull cuts and shear scraping to finalize the round over. And starting to define the foot. I use a tenon on this one instead of a recess, just again because of the small size of the blank. I didn't want to have to lose any of the depth of the bowl with the recess. Moving on to the skew chisel here to define the bottom and the tenon. Here I'm opening up a set of chisels that I recently got and haven't had a chance to use. I will be, as I said in the beginning, attempting a bow tie. So here I'm using one of the smaller size chisels to help define the edges of the bow tie. And before anyone says anything, yes, this is still on the chuck. I did not have an ideal place to do this. Oddly enough, I don't have a vise. I need to get one. And I don't have one of those fancy vacuum holder things. So using a drill to drill out most of the material, and then I'll finish again with a chisel. Just trying to get as much as material as possible and as close to the lines. There's probably better ways to do this. Certainly not an expert on bow ties. I'm just figuring out as I go. Here is the Black Diamond Pure White pigment that I'm going to be using in Total Boat resin to fill the area of the bow tie. And I know most bow ties are made of wood or even metal, but I thought I would try something different and use resin. Let me know if you've tried this and how it came out. That would be good to hear from people. Overfilled the resin a bit, but on purpose. I didn't want there to be not enough, again, because worrying about the diameter of the bowl staying as large as possible. So back on the lathe here, and going slow and taking off a very minimal amount to really true up that resin with the Padauk. And as you can see there, it somewhat looks like a bow tie, so at this point I'm pretty pleased. It's, again, not perfect bow tie, but you can tell that's the intention anyway. Hey, if you've made it this far in the video, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. If you're a subscriber, thanks for sticking around. And if you're not a subscriber, click that subscribe button in your lower right-hand corner of your screen. I would appreciate it. It helps me continue making videos and lets YouTube know that they should get my videos in front of more people. All about the YouTube algorithm. So if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. If you are subscribed, you can share the video, and obviously giving a thumbs up will help as well. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't think I got it on camera, but the tenon cracked, so I didn't want the bowl obviously to fly off the lathe. I did epoxy the tenon back on, but I was still afraid that it wasn't good enough, so I ended up redoing the tenon off camera, and so in a little bit you'll see the tailstock removed, and it's much safer at that point. You see that line on the side of the bowl, and that's epoxy or super glue. I can't remember from securing the tenon back on that cracked. And you can see it's not quite in balance here, and that's because of the crack in the tenon. So I'm going to fix that in a minute. So just continuing the hollowing process here, back with the bowl gouge. I did stop to sharpen probably 3 or 4 times for this one. Padauk is pretty dense, so it can dull the tools pretty quickly. And to sanding, starting with 80 grit. I sanded it from 80 to 100, to 400 grit. Combination of power sanding and hand sanding. And now onto the sanding sealer. After one coat of the sanding sealer and then de-nibbing, I move on to the Axe abrasive pastes. And de-nibbing with a steel wool pad. And onto the Axe abrasive paste. And now one of my favorite parts, the Axe polishing paste. Wipe on and buff off. You can already see the sheen there. Very nice finish. So there is the almost finished bowl. Off camera I did take off the tenon, but that is the bowl. I'm pretty happy with it. So thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. Don't forget to leave a like. Subscribe if you haven't. And until next week, peace out.